Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Let's talk about fair this morning. I got about 4 emails that were asking about fair and what fair is. Real quick, on the Jewelry by BDK Creator Zone, in there is a file, and it's a PDF, maybe 10 pages, talking about fair and what fair is, and those frequently asked questions and all that good stuff. So you can go over to the Jewelry by BDK Creator Zone Facebook page, and in there you go under files, click on files, and then you'll see all these different documents and forms and stuff that are uploaded in there. And one is about fair and what fair is. Well, let's talk about it. Fair is a wholesale marketplace where vendors or retailers from all around the world, they go on there to find product to purchase from independent distributors or creators like us, right? So that's what they do. So one of the kind of like a complaint she was saying that, well, she's been on Fair for a while. This is an email, but somebody also commented one time that she's been on Fair for, I think she said a couple months, and she hadn't got any sales. Another couple of people sent the emails, and they were saying, well, how do you do it on Fair? What happens? How do you get sales? All the 1, 2, 3s. So Fair, just like any marketplace, you can't just put your product there and think something's going to happen. Also, pictures have a lot to do with things. So I went to the 2 different marketplaces where the people have gotten, and Fair don't accept everybody in. That's a good thing about, well, kind of like the good thing about it, I didn't find them, they found me. So that was good stuff. But they don't accept everybody in. So you do have to have a website that they can go to. They can check it out. I'm sure they do all their little research, right? So these 2 people, they do have websites, really nice websites, right? So my question to them was the pictures, because when I went to their Fair marketplace, the pictures are not the best pictures. They're dark pictures. You can see things in the background. I mean, they're just not really professional pictures, right? So remembering the retailers that are on Fair, these are not just people next door trying to find, things to buy. These are really huge and large companies and organizations. For me, I've sold to Oregon State University, to their, I forget the name of the museum, but I have sold to them. I have sold to people in France. I have sold to places in Chicago. I have sold to a number of small boutiques, and like just kind of like all over the place. And remember, anytime you're presenting your product, you want to present the best quality that you absolutely positively can. And it does start with your pictures. And I think I mentioned that if you can master taking really nice pictures, you got it from there. Just master taking really good pictures, and any platform that you put those pictures on, you want them to look quality. And then your titles and your descriptions, you'll figure that stuff out. Even if you have to go to another website, not saying copy people's anything, because that's not what we want to do, but just for an idea, if you're not sure about the title, what to put for the item, go to another website and then see what the title that they put. Are they using like the same materials that you use, right? And then kind of figure out a title for yourself, and also a description. Many times a description doesn't have to be this long drawn out novel. It just does not have to, it does not have to be that. It can be just the details, what the item is, the materials that it's made from, the measurements, and then whatever little extra information you want to add in there, right? It does not have to be a whole lot of drawn out. It just really does not have to be all that. And think about it. People are busy, busy with projects, busy with things that they have to do. So let's say I'm a buyer for Neiman Marcus. Okay, so I go on to Fair, and I'm looking for like maybe boho jewelry. So I go in, I type in, tag word, and make sure you put your tag words and stuff on there too. Also in your description and in your title. So if I go on there, I'm looking for boho jewelry. Type that in. I get this whole really nice list that comes up, right? So the first thing you see is what? Pictures. So if I'm drawn to your picture, I'm going to click on your picture. From your picture, all I want to know, title, because I'm busy, I have 1,000 other things to do after I go in here and make this purchase of $5,000. I got something else I have to do, the one, two, threes. All I need to know is details. You ever talk to somebody and they're trying to tell you something, but they fill it with all of this stuff that needs not even be in the conversation? So much so to where you say, okay, can you just get to the point? So it goes with your product. A nice title describing what that item is, little simple description, what it's made from, all this good stuff, how many units in a case, all this old good stuff, right? And that's fair. And you do want to have more than 5 items on fair, right? You want to have more than 5 items. You want to have good pictures. You want to have more than 5 items. You want to have good titles, good descriptions. You want to go ahead and add your tags in there. Let's see what else it is. Also, you can't just put your product on there and think it's going to sell. Does fair help in the sense of having these tools available to you as a seller, wholesaler, to be able to, try to make some magic happen by way of getting some sales? Absolutely, positively, they do that. But you have to do some work too. There's a scripture that talks about you can't eat unless it's by the sweat of your brow. By the sweat of your brow, you'll be able to eat, right? And if a man don't work, he don't eat, right? So there is something that you have to do. You can, on any platform, you can't just put something there and then think something's going to happen. That is not how that all works. I talk about email lists. If you have an email list from, if you've been out to events or you got some customers and all this stuff kind of stuff, always make them aware of what you have, what platforms you're selling on. Keep them abreast of what is going on. Those are your customers. And it's okay to put in that email, hey, if you know someone that might be interested in the product, here's a 50% off code for them. Can you forward this to them? And then when they forward that to them and they go to your website, right, they do have to be encouraged to sign up and join your email list. You can't just start emailing them, right? Because you know that little can, what's it called? Can spam, a spam can, or some type of law that they have where you can't just do that. People have to literally sign up to your email list. So create it in some way where when they come to the website or whatever that special is that you're offering to them, that they do have to join your email list in order to be able to utilize that. Okay, so that's something that you want to do. You have to be on social media, be it Instagram, be it TikTok, be it Facebook. You have to be somewhere letting people know something, that you're there. So how do they know that you're there? They don't know that you're there unless you tell them that you're there. I know there was a question that was presented and she asked me, she said, well, how do I let people know that I sell wholesale, that my items are wholesale, right? And the only people you may sell to are, the end user, which are retailers, which are, your audience, right? Market to them. Let them know, hey, if you ever thought about selling, like having a private party, because remember when they used to have all these private parties, Tupperware, they used to do Mary Kay, they used to do Avon, and they may still do those things, right? That's something that you can package and put together. Think about that paparazzi business situation that they put together. That was like amazing. $5 this, $5 that, but just think about how they did that. And they package these things up and then they sold these to these people and said, hey, go sell this stuff, right? You could even do it like that. Market it that way. Hey, have you thought about ever doing a party? I offer this package for this amount of money. You have to think about things in order to get your product out. And I think what really happens is there's a laziness that happens. Not saying any of you guys, but I'm just saying there's a laziness that kind of happens where people think when they make something, it's going to automatically sell itself. That's not how it happens unless you literally get out there and you plant some seeds in some good ground. Now, you're going to plant on all kind of ground, but 9 times out of 10, you are going to plant on some good ground. And fair.com might be a good ground for you once you learn how to navigate it, once you learn how to nurture it, once you learn how to till the ground, right? And it's not by just one item. I only have one of this available. Well, they can get that bracelet right next door at the other vendor. So they're not going to buy that one item because it is what it is. There's nothing different or unique about it, right? So you do have to sell those in quantities. Now, it becomes attractive to them if you have that one necklace and you have 20 of those at a sweet price. And that's the whole thing about wholesale. Wholesale is a discounted price from what you normally sell at retail. So if you sell your necklaces at $22, right? Chances are you're going to have to take half off of that. But also remember that you do have to pay commission. So you want to make sure that you are getting a profit. So if you sell them for $22 and you're selling them at wholesale for, I don't know, $15 or $12, it just depends on you. And that's why I say you do have to document things when it comes to expenses and profits. You know, you have to do it's something that you have to do. You may not want to do, but it's something that you have to do in order to be a good business person, and not just a good business person, a good business person that knows how to sell his or her product and make a profit from it, right? So there is something that you have to do, and you do have to write things down in the sense of dollars and cents, and money coming in, money going out, different things like that. And that's the difference about fair. It's wholesale in the sense you do have to sell them at a discounted price. So if you can sell 10 of your necklaces that you normally sell at $22 each, right? So you're unfair and you have 10 of those necklaces, you're not selling them for $22 because that's a retail price. And fair even says that, where you do have to sell them at a discounted price. It has to be at least, I think they say 50% or whatever they say. But how do they know what your 50% is, right? You do the numbers. So $22 and, oh, okay, well, I got 10 in the case and I'm selling them for $13 each, right? That's wholesale, right? And the price does have to be sweet to the retailer who is buying from you. In addition to the profit, has to be sweet for you too. It does have to make sense for you because you're paying a commission. In addition to, you're marking your product down at a very discounted price. So don't give your stuff away. And remember, we talked about value, knowing the value of what it is that you sell, and then learning how to mark something down, and whatever it is that you mark down, you apply it to an entirely different product. And you could be selling that product on your actual website. You could be selling it on Poshmark. You could be selling it on eBay. You could be selling it on at events when you go out. You could be selling it like any and everywhere. And anywhere and everywhere that you sell it, the price is always going to be different, more than likely. Why is that? Because the market is different. The market is different, right? And let's see what else they had asked me about fair. Fair. No, hadn't gotten any sales. Well, you do have to do something. I mean, you do have to let people know that you're there, and then come up, create something, and if this is what you are trying to do as a business, right? You got to think in terms of business, not in terms of it being a craft or a hobby or something like that. And it just blows me away when people call themselves a crafter. Well, if you're a crafter, you're basically doing it for therapy. You're basically doing it to fill your time. But if you say that you're a small business with the goals of becoming a bigger business, see, now you got the mindset of a business person, right? And I do offer that the Business of a Micro Business ebook. It's about 59 pages in my Etsy shop, and it's full of information. And if it's something you just want to provoke thought, you want to be going in a direction as it relates to a business, that book will help you to do that. But if you're doing what you're doing, like I said, for therapy or just because you like doing it and it passes time, that's all good too. Ain't nobody mad at you. That's all good too. I'm your biggest cheerleader. So keep doing what you're doing. Let's see, what else did we talk about? What else were they asking about fair? I think that was pretty much all about fair. And if you can, anywhere that you are, try to go to one or two events. So you can establish an email list if you don't already have one, right? Or if you are in organizations, or if you're part of groups, or if you go to a church somewhere, or, things like that. Think about ways, that you can incorporate what it is that you do, and then convert those folks into clients or customers, or potential customers or clients. For me, with my congregation, we have a ladies' day. So with our ladies' day, my jewelry, right? So with my jewelry, they buy my jewelry to put into the gift bags. And it's generally maybe the earrings in the bottle, or I'll get these really small boxes that jewelry boxes that you put rings in. And I'll make a really cute pair of earrings and tie the little bow around it. And then those will go into the swag bag. Also, my journals. With the journals, I will put many of my journals in our little foyer where we got area where you can put things. One of the reasons is so they can use, some people can use the books, because a lot of women and men, they write things down, like when there's lessons or Bible classes or stuff, they write things down. But another is so that it makes people aware that the journals are available on Amazon to buy, because in the back of the book, I do put that, where you can buy more of those books, right? So that makes those people customers or potential customers, right? So anywhere, everywhere that you are, you want to consider those things. And sometimes, just like Famous Amos, with the cookies, sometimes you have to give things away. We don't like giving things away, but sometimes you do have to give things away until your brand is actually established, right? And let's talk about the vendors list. And I hope I didn't mislead anyone in thinking that vendors list is going to be free. No, there is going to be a fee attached to the vendors list. You have to remember, we are all small businesses or people that are crafters and hobbyists and whatever it is that we do. And we spend a lot of time trying to find vendors that are worthy of our dollars, right? We're hoping when we order that product and we get that product, and that product is something that they have advertised to us that it is what it says that it is, right? And there's a lot of times that things are hit and miss. So for me, the vendors list, it won't be something, a free tool. That will have a cost to it. I'm not really sure what the cost is going to be attached to it as of yet. Once I finish it up and add all the little extra information I want to add in there and all this other kind of stuff, I will add it to my Etsy shop, and then I'll let you guys know that is available. Because I was thinking, I was actually having a conversation with a friend, and me and him was talking. And I was saying to him, because he's a business person in the sense of corporate, he's a corporate attorney. So anyway, we were having some conversation about some stuff. And I said, well, I do give, like a lot of information. I give a lot of information that people would normally pay for with someone else. So I don't have a problem when it comes to attaching a charge to something. I don't have a problem with doing that, because I know that I give a lot of valuable information that people would normally have to pay for, like with other people. And another thing that I do, because I was talking to him, when I was talking to him, there was an inbox that came through on Facebook, and the lady was asking me about cord, like what type of brand cord, or what type of do you use for your bracelets, and something else she was asking me. This was on Facebook. And I was saying that to him. I said, see, I get these type of questions and this stuff all the time. He said, I know, because I've been with you when they come through. And I don't have a problem with that. I really do not have a problem with that, like answering questions like that. But at some point, something has to be paid for. And if people get, a little itch behind it, then that says a lot about you, and you will go to somebody else and you'll pay for it. But then when it's somebody else, you don't want to pay for it. And that's another thing I thought about. I said, well, I don't want to spoil people into thinking that they don't have to pay for anything when it comes to, because I am a business. Jewelry by BDK is a business, and it's a business that is expanding and going into different directions. So, and trust and believe, I've done my research. I have analyzed everything. I've written everything down from A to Z. Trust me, A to Z. And when I do attach a fee to something, it does make sense to me first as a customer, right? First as a customer, and then as a business owner. So it's not like I'm saying, I'm going to charge them $150 for this just because I can. That's never my mindset. at all, period. I think about me first as a customer and then as a business owner. Okay. Me as a customer, would I pay for it? Is it of any value to me? Is it worth me paying this amount of money for? What am I getting from it? After I pay for it, is it useless or is it something that I can absolutely positively use? And I would never want to put a product out that is useless. Even information. I try to do my best as far as like information to educate, to inform, and make you aware of like different things. But that's far from fair.com. But I just felt like I needed to toss that in real quick because I think a couple of people were thinking that the vendors list was going to be of no cost. But there is going to be a cost attached to it. Not only will it be a vendors list, it'll be some other information that relates to business and all this other little different stuff that I got up in there. So not just a vendors list. It's some good stuff coming with that, and it's looking really, really good. Okay, really, really good. So I hope those answered questions, and always welcome to email me, jewelrybybdk@gmail.com. You're always welcome to put a comment. You're always able to find me on Facebook. I don't know how people be finding me on Facebook either. Maybe because I always say my name, Darlene Knight, right? Calm down, Darlene. That's how they be finding you, girl. And it is okay. I don't mind that. But people do be finding me on Facebook like all day long. I be like, how'd she find me? Okay. And then I thought, well, you do be saying your name, girl. It's like, okay. And that's cool too. I don't mind that. But anyway, guess what, family? We'll talk soon.